Deep in the heart of the Smoky Mountains sits a legendary stretch of asphalt that practically begs to be driven. This is U.S. Highway 129, better known as the Tail of the Dragon. Squeezed right onto the border of North Carolina and Tennessee, it packs a dizzying 318 curves into just 11 miles of road. People travel from all over the world to run this route. If you believe the internet hype, you might expect a wide-open playground where you can finally push your car or bike to its absolute limit. Then you arrive. Instead of an empty track, you find dense weekend traffic jams, heavy police patrols, and legal boundaries that leave zero room for error. Surviving this bucket list drive means letting go of the online mythology and respecting the exact physical and legal realities of the mountain itself. You must adjust your expectations from the track to the reality of Highway 129. Track days are about finding terminal velocity. Up here, you are bound by a strict 30-mile-per-hour speed limit. A proper circuit gives you forgiving runoff areas. The Dragon gives you zero guardrails and steep, unforgiving mountain drop-offs. Instead of cutting across the tarmac and clipping an apex, the mountain forces you to strictly hug the outside white line. Taking a track mentality onto a public thoroughfare like this is the fastest way to turn an expensive vacation into a massive liability. Conquering this route requires intense operational discipline and an immediate, complete reset of your expectations behind the wheel. Part of the road's racing lore actually comes from its history. Before 1992, the speed limit here was 55 miles per hour, creating a lingering expectation of how fast it should be driven. Today, the baseline across the entire 11-mile route is strictly capped at 30 miles per hour. You might hear locals at the gas pumps claim police will look the other way if you're only pushing it a little bit. Do not test that theory. Especially on weekends, police heavily patrol this corridor. Cruisers sit waiting just a few miles into the route, ready to pull over overly eager drivers. You will even encounter roadside photographers who disguise their parked cars to look like sheriff cruisers, actively tricking people into slamming on their brakes. Carrying historical track speeds into today's enforcement environment guarantees a massive fine that instantly ruins the value of your trip. The legal penalties are severe, but the physical environment is what makes this road truly dangerous. The trees here sit right on the edge of the asphalt, creating a dark and completely claustrophobic tunnel. This brings us to the golden rule of the Dragon. Under no circumstances do you ever cross the double yellow center line. Driving with high speed and high aggression while ignoring lane discipline is exactly what causes crashes on this mountain. Taking a typical track driver's behavior, high speed and using the whole road, puts you in immediate, extreme physical danger. The penalty is so high because that thick wall of trees bordering the curves completely destroys your forward visibility. Drifting over that line is playing Russian roulette. You are gambling that there isn't a sports car hauling through the exact same blind corner in the opposite direction. If there is, you have absolutely zero reaction time. And if you need to swerve, you are out of luck. There are no guardrails here, just steep, immediate drop-offs right off the shoulder. You have to sacrifice the racing apex. Staying rigidly inside your own lane is the only physical way to navigate these natural hazards. Those charts aren't theoretical. The mountain keeps a very physical record of the people who ignore those boundaries. At the Deals Gap Resort near the top of the route, you'll find the Tree of Shame. It is a literal monument covered entirely in broken motorcycle parts and car debris, left behind by drivers who pushed past the road's limits and paid the price. Local accident reports trace almost all of this wreckage right back to the exact same causes: carrying too much speed and crossing the center line. The terrain ruthlessly punishes ego. A momentary lapse in judgment up here easily results in a totaled vehicle, or much worse. You have to decide what kind of driver you are. If your primary goal is finding your vehicle's top speed and maximum grip, you need to stay away. Between heavy policing and the inability to use the full road, a track-focused driver will only find a suspended license. If you prioritize strict lane discipline over overall pace, this trip is highly recommended. It requires driving intentionally below your maximum skill level and actively hugging that outside white line on every single curve. Success on the Tail of the Dragon is not measured by a stopwatch. It is measured purely by returning home with your vehicle, your license, and your life fully intact.